to the Crypto Andrew channel. Let's see what's going on in crypto. This is to make up for not going live yesterday. So let's talk about and see what's going on in the crypto space. Let me share my screen with you guys so that you guys can see what's going on. I might have to change the music because I'm not a fan of this, but we'll see how long it takes me to get tired of it. So let me just get everything set up. Obviously, Bitcoin's having a small pullback. Of course, I longed it. It's okay. My stop loss is 101,000. So if we don't go down that low, we'll be fine. We're gonna see what's going on. It was a very small long position. So if I lose $50. But still, no, I can't listen to this music anymore. If I lose, it's a $50 loss. So let me just get everything set up here. If you guys are new, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. If you guys want to join the trading group, link to join is on YouTube, where I give trade setups, Bitcoin updates, and altcoin setups throughout the day, every single day. And if you guys want to join the Telegram group, where you can ask me questions or just good know if I want to go live, besides YouTube, in case YouTube doesn't notify you, you can join the Telegram link, which I think is on TikTok and YouTube, and that is free to join. Let's see what's going on in the Bitcoin space right now. Before we get too far into it, I do want to look at the Fair Greed Index. Right now, we're sitting in extreme greed at 81. So just be cautious. It's just always good to know where that's at. So let's go over and let's look at, the other thing I would like to look at would be the book map indicator. So let's see if we can get that pulled up. This tells us where the most liquidity is at for Bitcoin. And it looks like right now we have a lot of liquidity up here at 106,000, but you also see big chunks down here at 103. So short term, it's likely we come down to 103 where the big chunks of liquidity are. And then if you still have this liquidity up here at 106, it's likely sometime later this week we get a bounce. But obviously, I think we also need to take this in thought with also the price action on the charts. So we're going to do that. Of course, I'm also in my long on this, and this is going very badly. I got into this at 11,600, and again, my stop is 7,400. So if you reverse now, it's okay, but it's around the top. So we'll get into that later as well. But so far, that's not going very well. I did make a video about Wi-Fi earlier today. So we'll get into that. So I saw earlier today, Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame had a falling wedge. Obviously, that's been negated. You've lost the falling wedge, which I think is okay. It's not the end of the world. But obviously, that is negated. And that can no longer be a falling wedge because you're basically going straight down. So let's just start on the monthly time frame. Monthly's overbought. The weekly time frame right now is overbought as well. So even the biggest time frames do need some kind of pullback to go to the downside. The 3-day time frame you can see is getting oversold. It's not quite oversold, but it's probably going to make a higher low is my point. The 2-day was oversold, trying to get the bounce, kind of failing right now. Daily, same situation, higher high, but you're very overbought on the daily time frame on the stock hour side. Money flow also in all of those time frames also needs to come down as well. The 12-hour is having a red bearish engulfing candle, but I will say it's still likely, based on how fast the stock hour side is starting to reset, that even the 12-hour makes a higher low. And here's an idea, and I still think this is a valid idea, is that this bull pennant here on the 12-hour time frame that I drew for Bitcoin a few days ago is still valid for a measure move up to about $116,430. And right now, it wouldn't be over bad if Bitcoin came back down to 102,500 or 102,000 even, and had a bullish retest of this breakout zone. And then you could get a bounce. And if Bitcoin does come back down to 102,000, I could still stay in my trade because, again, my stop is about a 101 and change. And I could still stay in my trade, and as long as Bitcoin bounces around 102, I'd be fine. And then you could get the bigger move to 116. This would be pretty bullish actually to get a bullish retest of this breakout zone right here on the 12-hour time frame. And the money flow does suggest you need even more downside, but the stock hour size suggests maybe 102 could be the low. The 8-hour time frame, again, kind of the same situation as a 12-hour. The 6-hour, that's getting oversold pretty quickly. Money flow still, even on the 6-hour, is extended. 4-hour time frame has made a higher low on the stock hour side. I guess you haven't confirmed the higher low because you haven't bounced yet, but the money flow is still needing to come down on the 4-hour time frame. So to me, even the money flow suggests if you do bounce here, it's going to be a lower high. So the money flow is kind of bearish right now, I would say. And the 2-hour time frame just lost the 21-day moving average, which is this blue line here. Usually when you lose a 21, you come down to the next big one, which for me is a 200, and that's sitting around that $100,000 mark. So Bitcoin's kind of in a dangerous territory to really lose some key levels here. Again, I think if you hold 102, we're fine, and we can that just be a bullish retest on the higher time frames. But right now, Bitcoin, even on the 1 hour, lost is 21. Your next stop is going to come down to 1017. On the half-hour time frame, you already lost 200. So yeah, I go to the 1 hour time frame now, and it's likely Bitcoin goes between 1018 and 102,000 for your next local support on that 200-day moving average. And again, if you go back to the 12-hour time frame, if we hold this level here at about 102,000, that's just a bullish retest in my opinion. If you lose 102,000, then that's when we can start to talk about it being more than just a bullish retest. And that's when, if you lose 102,000, that's when it would start to be bearish. If we go to the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin, Bitcoin had this cup and handle, broke to the upside. You hit the measure move, it continued up. But again, I guess just the key level I watch for over the next day or so would be 102,000. If Bitcoin loses 102,000, it's likely that we can no longer be bullish, and that your next support below 102,000, I see as a local support at that 100,000 psychological support level. If you lose that level, you're looking at 97.5 as your next support to the downside. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of what I see going on. Bare minimum, unfortunately, I'm calling a move for Bitcoin down to 102,000. And if you bounce there, that's awesome. If you don't, then obviously I've already talked about the levels to the downside. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. So short term, at least into tomorrow, there's likely downside. I hope I'm so wrong, because I am in a long. I hope we just rip back to the upside. But even if you get bullish retest of 102,000 and then we bounce sometime later this week or into next week, that I still think Bitcoin could see a new all-time high later this week or next week, even if you see that bullish retest of 102,000. So we'll see what happens. Again, if you lose 102, we can talk about 100K and then 97.5 and all those levels to the downside. But if you hold 102, I'm still bullish on the smaller time frame. So that's what's going on Bitcoin. So let me see. I also appreciate if you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel. We're live on YouTube as well. So if you guys want to see the entire screen, head over to YouTube. So yeah, I'm in this Wi-Fi chart. I do see this as a round top on the smaller time, right here. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. I'm in a long on this. But I'm, it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. You almost, I thought you were going to put a double bottom here at basically the 99.50 range or $10,000 range. That didn't happen. I don't even see, I want to be bullish, but I don't even see this as like a falling wedge here on Wi-Fi, because it's just going down so fast. So probably another dead cat bounce here. If we go to the 7-minute time frame, it's likely another lower high, and that is not good. I would just say, for me to be bullish short term on this longer term trade, you must break $10,200 on Wi-Fi. I think this coin has a lot of potential. The all-time high last bull run was around 95, 96,000, depending on what exchange you were on, and the coin came out at $30, I think. So I believe this coin has a lot of potential to go back to $100,000. But right now, I got to say it looks bad. The 4-hour time frame is very oversold. The 6-hour time frame is very oversold. 8-hour time frame is oversold. And I've been talking about this now for the last few days. Daily's oversold, 2 days oversold, 3-day isn't oversold yet. But 2-day and under are super oversold. And that's why I think at some point you're going to get more than a dead cat bounce, and you're going to put in a nice move to the upside. So I would say Wi-Fi is one to have on your radar. Is it time to buy it? Well, I think compared to the other day, it's a great time to buy. But short term, if you just look at the smallest of time frames, it still looks kind of bearish to me. But again, as long as we stay above the price of 7,400, I am still long, because that's where my stop loss is. So that is kind of my only trade I have going on besides, I guess, the Bitcoin trade. And frankly, I could move my stop to 7,500, but overall, we're still a ways away now. We're down $2,000 in the last 2 days. So if you go down another 2,000 2 days, in 2 or 3 days, that could be out of this trade. It could dump even faster than that. But let's see what happens. I think you're long overdue for a bounce, although I'm understanding that's a round and top that doesn't look good. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. I'll look at them. Another one I did want to look at is XRP. I made a video about XRP on my YouTube channel, but XRP right now, I saw this situation, cup and handle. So to me, that's a round at bottom, which means that's your cup. And then here's kind of the handle I see. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. This is kind of your handle I see for XRP. If XRP loses like 243, then I would kind of negate this falling wedge cup and handle idea. But if you hold a level of $2.43 on XRP, I see a measure move all the way up to about 342, 340 on XRP. And that's just kind of what I see going on in the charts. So that's what I see, and I guess I'll leave it at that. So now I'll look for requests and see if we see any, but that's just what I see going on in the XRP charts and Bitcoin chart and Wi-Fi chart right now. By the way, we usually go live Saturdays and Mondays at 11 p.m. Central Time. Obviously, today it's the next day, Tuesday, but this is to make up for yesterday's live stream. I'll be back on schedule on Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. That's the plan for right now. And again, if anything changes, I'll let you guys know on the Telegram group. But I don't see any requests. So let me know if you guys have any requests for altcoins, and I'll look at them. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of just going sideways right now. Nothing crazy is going on Bitcoin. I guess there's another thing I should talk about is Herald on Solana. Herald is a chef, and it's a meme coin, so it's high risk. But right now the market cap is basically $4 million. So we'll see what happens. High risk, high reward. I entered this trade on the 2-hour time frame. So it has this coin has been around since the 19th of November. I have my stop loss right now. Well, I don't have a stop, but if it loses a level of 27 or even 28, really, I'll be out of the trade. I'll get out at least. I only put a little bit of money in here, so actually I really don't care if I sell or not. I only put a few bucks in here. So we'll see what happens. But Herald, to me, the setup looks good overall. Like, again, I know it's a low cap coin, so maybe it won't play out, but it's a meme coin. It looks juicy. I haven't done much meme coin trading on Solana recently, but like you have this higher lows being put in with the same highs. This is an ascending triangle as far as I'm concerned on this token, and we'll see it. I definitely agree that meme coins do not have to follow TA, but if it does follow TA, it's saying you could go up to 1 penny, which is about 140% move to the upside from here, maybe a little less, and that's what I see going on. That would be the measure move for Herald. You can buy this on Solana. Make sure the market cap's correct. Make sure you're buying it on Solana so you get the right token, not financial advice. I just think this could go up. I would not put much money in here. Like $100 is like, I don't know, on the high end, because this is just fun money, right? So we'll see what happens. The measure move takes you around a penny. We'll see what happens. If this does happen, it's likely this takes 2 to 3 days to play out, at least on the 2-hour time frame. So 2-hour time frame, ascending triangle for Herald. That's just what I see going on. And if you lose a level of 27, you'd be losing the bottom of this trend line, and you lose a 200 moving average on the 2-hour time frame. So to me, if you lose a level of 27 or even 28, really, I would want to be out of the trade. So that's just what I see going on. It's just an idea. It's out there. It's very high risk, but it's something that I'm in, and I put in, 40, 50 bucks in here. We'll see what happens. If it does a 10x, I'll have a few hundred. If it goes to 0, that's cool. It's not cool, but it is what it is. So anyways, that's what I see going on in that right now. If you guys have a request, let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. It does help support the channel. Thank you. Again, I'll be back live Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time. And so far, I don't see any requests. So I guess with that being said, that's going to kind of wrap up this live stream. I kind of gave you what I see is going on with Bitcoin. And I see it's more than likely, I hope I'm wrong, but it's more than likely that Bitcoin does go to the downside to the next area of support around $102,000. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what happens. But that's what I see. Thank you for the likes. But that's just what I see going on. So that's what I got to talk about. I think Wi-Fi is due for a dead cat bounce. I think XRP, if you hold 243, is bullish. And I guess and then I talked about Herald. So those are the 4 things I want to talk about today. And I guess I did that. So that's kind of what I see going on. If you guys want to stay up to date on what's going on in the crypto markets, join my trading group, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, do something, do one of the 3. It does help support the channel. But yeah, that's just what I see going on right now. XRP, Bitcoin, kind of consolidating. I think XRP looks more bullish than Bitcoin. Maybe one more thing we should go look at is Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin dominance is going down, that'd be very good for my Wi-Fi trade. And so you see on the 4-hour time frame, that's just not happening. The 4-hour time frame suggests that we're in a ascending triangle on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And usually when this happens, that means Bitcoin is going to continue to own the show and probably continue pumping. So that would also go with confluence with my idea that Bitcoin's going to go back to 104, get a bullish retest and bounce. Now, if you lose 102, if you lose 102,000, then obviously that idea is off the table. But if Bitcoin holds 102, Bitcoin dominance keeps going up, that would be very good for Bitcoin. And altcoins, if Bitcoin rips, might go up or sideways. But, so far, my Wi-Fi trade's not doing great. So we'll see what happens. But this does suggest if Bitcoin gets above 60% dominance, Bitcoin's just going to steal the show and just pump like crazy. And also probably going to go sideways or bleed while people sell altcoins for Bitcoin. This chart basically says right now that people are selling altcoins for Bitcoin. More people are buying Bitcoin right now than altcoins. That doesn't mean that some altcoins can't pump, but it's just very likely that you're going to see more of a Bitcoin move this week based on this chart. Now, I'd pretty much say that if Bitcoin dominance loses the level of, we'll say 57.4%, if you lose 57.4% of Bitcoin dominance, then I would agree that it's likely that Bitcoin dominance is obviously going to go lower, and that means that altcoins could take over. So if Bitcoin dominance loses 57.4, that's when you could see a little bit of a dump in Bitcoin and probably alts run. Altcoin season is anywhere between the Bitcoin dominance percent of around 30 to 40%. So we see down here, wait, let me go back. I know we were below 40% for a while. So if we go way back here, feel like it shouldn't have to be this far back. No, yeah, more recently, we went to 54. I thought it went below 54%. Maybe not. But yeah, that's what I see going on. So true altcoin season is when Bitcoin dominance is between 30 and 40%. I guess if you blow 60, you see a mini one, but it gets really serious and things go crazy when it's between 30 and 40%. 30% is very low, but that's what happens. So that's just something to watch. Bitcoin dominance. I like to talk about it minimum at least once a week on the live stream minimum. It's just something to take note of. Yeah. What do I think about Brett? Well, is this the right one? Brett is currently at 15 cents right now. 3-day time frame is oversold. It's getting oversold at least. Daily time frame is getting oversold. It kind of looks like to me you put in a new all-time high. You also have resistance at basically 20 cents. And you have support at 5 cents. I'm using this new indicator telling me where the support and resistance lines are. I can find them myself, but it seems like wherever the lines are at least on the higher time frames, it's pretty accurate. So I would say if you lose this level right here on Brett, if you lose 15 cents, it's likely you're going back down to 11.8 cents on Brett. So right now, you must hold this key level here on Brett token. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see the 4 hours almost oversold. But again, you're about to take out this low here. If you lose 15.5 cents, it's very likely you will see a capitulation at least down to 13 cents. If you lose that level, you're looking at 11.6 cents. That's what I see going on Brett. Anything's possible. Just a little bit of an idea there. If you bounce here, you could technically take a long. I would have my stop loss below 15 cents. And then, I take profit all, wherever you want. 24 cents all-time highs. But I think it's more likely that you're oversold, but we just looked at Bitcoin dominance. That's going up. We look at this right here. This is like going to be probably a rising wedge on the 15-minute time frame, make a lower high and continue dumping. Brett, to me, unfortunately, does not look super bullish. I will add this to my watch list. It doesn't look good right now. I got to say for Brett. Even on the 5.5-hour time frame, you just lost a 200-day moving average. So to me, I'm sorry, Brett does not look great for a move to the upside. It just doesn't. If you hold 15.5, I guess I can be wrong. I don't know if you're investing in Brett or just trading it or what you're doing. And this is not financial advice. But if I were you, and if I was in a trade, just a trade, not investing, but if I was in a trade on Brett, I'd probably sell if you lose 15 cents. Give it some insurance room. Don't sell at 15.5. But if you lose 15 cents, I'd probably want to be out of the trade. Not fun, that's just me. If you're investing, then that's another thing. But that's what I see going on with Brett. I mean, I don't even. What's the market cap on Brett? Let's go look. I don't even know what the market cap is. Market cap is 1.5 billion. Yeah, that's probably not. I don't. It's a meme coin, so I would actually watch this for a short. I love trading the 333-minute time frame. I would look at taking a short if you lose 14.1 cents. So I'm gonna set an alert on Brett. Actually, if you lose that level, I kind of would be interested in some sort of short. Maybe not if you lose a level, but if you get below this level, the RSI makes a lower high, it gets overbought while you're still below this line here. I'd look for a short. So to me, it's not. I wouldn't do anything right now, but it's likely this rolls over. Brett looks kind of bad right now. Thank you for the follow, James. I appreciate it. So yeah, again, I'll be just to recap. I'll be live 11 p.m. Central Time on Saturday for the next live stream. That's just what we got going on. Bitcoin right now. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. I mean, if we look that like the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin is due for a bounce, but then we go to like the 5-minute, and that's probably just some kind of descending triangle. So it's likely, I think the 15-minute time frame is going to push you out of this, but usually these do dump. I don't think I would short this because you have to understand that the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin is very likely to get a dead cat bounce here or some kind of bounce. So I would not short this, but buy the book that is a descending triangle. I'm telling you right now, I think it's likely that we pump out of here because Bitcoin on the 15-minute we just looked at is very oversold and ready for a bounce. And likely, whenever you get this far away from the 200-day moving average, you get a move back to the upside. So it's likely. This would be a very gutsy long, but I'd probably take a long with a stop loss down here. I'm not going to do this. I'm already in a long, but I'm saying if you want to look into another long, I would enter a long here with a stop at 103.5. And then look at that. It just ripped. That's awesome. I told you have to go back to the 200. That's actually crazy, though. That's a crazy 1-minute candle. So it's likely you come back up here if you're, and then I would look at the 15-minute time frame. Even if the 5 minutes overbought, you usually also come back to the 5-minute. That's sitting at 106. You could enter along now, stop loss where I told you, and take profit at 106.2, 106, 106.2. Take profits early. So I think Bitcoin's about to get a $2,000 move to the upside here in the next few hours, maybe even sooner. You can't get this far away from the smaller time moving averages and continue to dump. So this would be a good sign for my long. I'm still long in Bitcoin. I'm long on YFI and 15-minute time frame curving up aggressively. Now that's just what I see going on Bitcoin. If you want to be really, really aggressive and not lose any money, you could move your stop loss to break even if you enter that trade. I doubt anyone did, but you could put your stop at break even. But now the woman's probably going to get small pullback before continuing up, make a higher low. So now it's likely if you put your stop at break even, you're going to lose the trade. I would just leave my stop down here and see what happens. Just be willing to risk a little money to make a little money. That's all I got to say. In this YFI trade, I'm risking like $700 to make like $14,000. So it's going to be a several month long trade if I don't get stopped out here to the downside. But again, you have to be willing. Scared money doesn't make money. That's a good saying in crypto. So thank you for the follow. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of all I got. I see short term on Bitcoin, you get it moving back to $106,000. I think longer term, I don't think it's bearish. Bitcoin loses 103, goes to 102. But overall, that's what I see. So short term, move back to 106. Then at 106, I'll update my trading group. So if you want to join the trading group, link to join is on YouTube. But that's what I see going on. I think Bitcoin does need to move back to the upside here. The 15-minute time frame is curving up aggressively. The half-hour time frame is oversold. 1 hour is oversold. All these time frames are oversold, ready for a bounce. 4-hour time frames getting oversold. So I'm not going to say that that's the ultimate low before making a new all-time high, but it's very likely that that could be the low of the dump before we make that new all-time high. So something I'm watching. I think Bitcoin is going to get minimum a move back to 106. That's just something that I see going on and see very likely on Bitcoin. So I don't know what's going on with my screen, why it stopped working. That's just something I see going on right now. So I'm going to fix the screen. There we go. But that's what I see going on for Bitcoin right now. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one, 11 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. That's the next time I plan on being live on YouTube. Now, if you make a new all-time high or something, maybe I'll go live. But usually, I just don't do that recently. I don't know. Look, now this is going to get interesting. See, my longer live streams are always on Mondays. Obviously, this week it's Tuesday, but they're always on Tuesdays. And my shorter streams are on Saturdays. It just, I don't know. That's always how it happens. So 1 minute time frame is now making a bull pennant. You're far away from the 21, so I'd just be very cautious here. But technically, if you could have it's likely you dump here, But you could have a stop at 103.9. Take profit all the way up at 104.5 and be fine. I think you're too far from the 21-day moving average. So I'm gonna think you're gonna take out 103.9, but I could be wrong. Look at that. It's likely that you just did it, and you're gonna come back to the 21. It looked good there for a second, but again, it's likely that you need to come back down to that moving average. So now another idea. The measure move would still be 103.5. This could be a falling wedge, but overall, maybe you lose this low here. If you lose this low, then 102 is back on the table. So anything's possible, right? But with the 15-minute time frame curving up, the 33-minute time curving up, that 1 hour is oversold. I just would be surprised if you keep dumping right now. I think you need to come back up to the moving average on the 200-day moving average on the 5-minute. So 106.2. I think 106,000 gets hit sometime tonight, tomorrow morning. I think you just do for some kind of bounce here on the smaller time frames. That doesn't mean that 102 can't be hit still to the downside, but that's just what I see going on for Bitcoin right now. Technically, you have not lost 103,900 just yet. Did you? Oh, you did. You did for a second. But yeah, that's what I see going on for Bitcoin. With that being said, guys, that's all I got. That's everything I want to talk about. I see a move coming back to 106,000 for Bitcoin. I'm still long on Wi-Fi. I'm long on not Brett, the other one, on Harold. And that's where I leave us tonight. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, trade safe. I'll see you guys on Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time for the next live stream. Until then, have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Trade safe, y'all. Toodaloo. Appreciate also the likes on TikTok. Thank you. It does help support the channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Adios. Adios, amigos.